welcome to the Man United stream. Hope you're doing well. It's Friday night, best day of the week, and my favourite show by a country mile. I love doing the Friday night show. It's just lovely to chill out and relax ahead of the Premier League games, and you're excited, you're looking forward to the Premier League games, and we've got an early kick-off tomorrow, 12:30 against Spurs. We're going to be previewing that show. We're going to be also looking at all the latest news coming out of Man United. We've had some interesting news concerning Enrique, the PSG manager break last night. We also got news on Michael Carrick. We've got the presser as well that we can go through, discuss what he said, Michael Carrick, what we heard from the Spurs manager as well. This is going to be a massive game for Man United, and it's another test for Michael Carrick's interim manager position. I feel like every game that we are playing right now feels like a test for Michael Carrick, and he himself in the presser today has said that this is the one that he's the most concerned about, or the most worried about, the one that he's been working on the most, because he feels like this is a team that United should be winning, but can they do this job and get 4 in a row? I think the last time we did that was 2 years ago in February. That's insane. 2 years ago where we won 4 games in a row. Man United, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but this is what's come of the club right now. We've got a chance to go back to the glory days. I've said it many times before. This is one time where I'm watching United play and I feel like it's the old United. An old United where they just don't look scared. They look like they're going to get the ball and they're going to always look forward. They're going to always look forward and look to score. We're going to also actually, later on in today's show, we're going to go through the predicted lineups, what changes Michael Carrick might make, might not make. I get this feeling he's not going to make much changes. Michael Carrick, we know, likes to stick with a winning team. And of course, I like to as well. I just don't feel like we should tinker with things that are working. I cannot agree with those fans who say, actually, this player needs to come out of that player, because for me, this is the best team we've got right now cooking for us. Yes, of course, there's a few other players that you can think maybe can come in. But look, Spurs are a team that have struggled this season. They're in the bottom half of the table. Look, it's deceptive. The table's deceptive. They're closer to the relegation zone than they are to top 5. Let's put it that way. But this Spurs team are actually good away from home and absolutely shambolic when it comes to playing at home. They're nervous. They're a nervous bunch of players. And I think when the pressure's off them, they play really well. Hence why, away from home, I think they play better. And at home, they're not very good. They're not very good. I think the only team that is worse than Spurs this season at home is Wolves. But look, I'm not gonna say, look, this is going to be an easy game. It's still going to be a very difficult game. There's players that we need to watch out for. Solanke being one of those players that we need to keep a close eye on. But Spurs, it's a weird one. We've not really done well against Spurs in recent times. And it frustrates me, because Spurs are a team that we should be actually turning over every single day, smashing them to pieces. But we're not. And it is frustrating, man. It is frustrating. But anyway, let's first discuss the latest news coming out of Man United, and then we will go and talk about the big game. And can we get 4 wins in a row? Absolutely, we can. The way United have been playing, we certainly can do that. The worry I have is that we maybe take it as an easy game. Maybe we get a little bit cocky. Maybe we don't give it our all and let things slip. That's the only thing that I'm worried about, but I still feel that someone like Carrick's going to get onto the back of the players and say, look, do not take this lightly. We need to go out there and get this win. And Spurs are a team that, look, we saw against City. City were 2-0 up, looked very comfortable. Second half, Spurs came out and played like a completely different bloody team. So that's the other danger we've got. So 2-0 for me is not a comfortable scoreline against the Spurs side. And we saw United slip up, or almost slip up, on the weekend when they were 2-0 up. And we all thought, right, this is it. Job's done. Job is done. We're gonna easily now just switch off and we can just comfortably win the game, see it out. But we didn't control the game, and of course, Acuna and Casemiro went off, and boom, our team completely changed. But anyway, team news first of all. We've got Dogu who's still out. We've got De Ligt who's still out. He's still sidelined, so that's not good. Mason Mount, we're hearing he might be coming back. He apparently he got a knock on in training, so. Again, Mason Mount on injuries, man. What is all that about? But thankfully, we've got our trio. Yes, our trio in Kuna, Mbeumo, and Diallo. Them are the guys that are cooking for us right now. I think they're gonna be playing the way we've been playing, the 4-4-2 formation. It's not. On paper, it doesn't say 4-4-2, but we all know that's how they play in-game. Will they change things? I don't think they do need to. I think they just stick to what they're working on and just do what they've been doing. I don't know. I get this feeling. I'm hearing noises coming out of Man United that there will be some changes this weekend. Carrick's been working on something else, and he feels like Tottenham are a different type of team, a different test for United. So the games that we've already played are not like Spurs. That's what I'm hearing. But again, we heard that before the game against Arsenal, but he put out the same team, and we did pretty well. So I'm thinking, I don't think he's going to change anything. It says Carrick is expected to stick with his winning formula and not make wholesale changes to his starting lineup. But he may be tempted to recall Sesko in attack after his impact as the last minute substitution. That would result in one, maybe Mbeumo, Ahmad or Kuna making way though. I can't see that happening. I really can't. I think Sesko will be still on the bench and he will come on to do the damage if needed. I think that's exactly is going to be his role from now on. Tottenham, of course, will be without their main star in Maddison in the midfield. He's been out, obviously, long-term injury. We've got Kudus, who's out as well. They've got a long list of players that are out, man. Pedro Porro, Richarlison, Ben Tako, Ben Davis, Lucas, Bergaval. They're absolutely Lord. So look, this is if we were going to pick a time to play Spurs, this would be that time. I think it's perfect. It's perfect to play with them. But Solanke, is going to be that main guy for them. He scored 2 goals against Man City. He looked phenomenal. If we can keep him quiet, I think United get the win. If we can't keep him quiet, United then might have a little bit of a harder time. I still feel United can do the job. Anyway, what am I doing? I'm already previewing the show, the match. I'm so excited. I forgot to tell you about all the previous news stories coming out in the last 24 hours on Man United and the manager search. Now, news broke last night about a certain Enrique. Yes, the PSG manager has been heavily linked to Man United. Apparently, now, again, I don't know because this is news going around. It's still something that still hasn't been confirmed by any party. I don't think it will be confirmed. But apparently, United have reached out to Enrique. Yes, guys. United are looking at big timers. United are looking at Enrique. United, apparently, someone from United reached out to Enrique saying that he should reject the offer of a new contract from PSG because they feel like he could come and join Man United. I've put my neck on the line and I've said it time and time again. I don't feel Enrique will move from PSG to United. Given what he already knows about United, given there's no stability, is there, at United? It's unstable right now with the owners. There's other stuff going on behind the scenes that he's probably looking at and thinking, do I want to join that shit show? Do I want to join a club where the owners are actually skint and not willing to put any real money down? There's lots of other question marks over United's players, the best ones leaving. Of course, if we brought Enrique in, it would be sensational. I think if Enrique came in, I'll be honest with you, I don't think any player that is wanting to leave, Bruno Fernandes and the likes, will want to leave. And I think he's a big manager that will attract big players. Every player will want to play for United if Enrique joins United. That's the pull that you get from a manager like Enrique. It's very similar to Pep Guardiola. Most players join Man City not because it's Man City, but because they want to play for one of the greatest managers ever. So Pep Guardiola is that guy, right? Right now, currently in world football, you'd argue that Pep Guardiola is the best manager in world football. With obviously Carrick is up there. Yeah, I'm just kidding, right? Okay, but Pep, of course, attracts the players. I think Enrique is somewhere near there now. He's getting to that stage where he's obviously done really well with PSG. And if he joins someone like United, I'm sure lots of players would look at him and think, yeah, I want to join Man United. I want to join Man United because they've got that top manager there in Pep. Pep. We could get Pep. I'm only kidding. I don't think he'd ever move, but I don't feel Enrique will want to come either. I wish it's true. I wish it could happen, but I've just been saying to you guys a couple of days ago, I said to you, watch out. Right now, Ineos are under pressure. They've not signed anyone in the January transfer window. The fans are not happy with them. It's clear that they've not backed Ruben Amorim, and now they've not even backed Carrick in bringing at least one player. At least one player they could have bought in the January transfer window to confirm or to concrete their position in the top four. But they've not done that. And that's why I think fans are on their backs. And guess what? Guess what they do? Of course, we knew what they were going to do. They were going to release positive PR. And I've been saying it to you, positive spin. Oh, here we go. The spin is real. It's going to come out. Watch, guys. We're going to get spin on, oh, United are doing this, United are doing that. And boom, perfectly timed. Ineos release news that they've been talking to Enrique. No one can confirm or deny it, but that story makes them look really good, doesn't it? Everyone thinks, all the fans think, oh, maybe Ineos are doing something good. Maybe they are looking at the bigger picture. Maybe they are looking at bringing in the very best in class. But I seriously doubt that. I seriously doubt, number one, that they have approached Enrique. It sounds really weird that they go in there and say, reject your contract. I mean, what? That just sounds silly. It sounds silly. I don't believe that's happened. I don't believe United have gone in there and done that. So that for me is just a fake news story, right? But again, make what you want of it. My job is to bring it to you, and then you guys can decide upon yourselves. You're clever enough. You can decide whether this is actually true or not. For me, if I'm betting on it, if I'm taking a guess, I'd say no, it's not true. I don't feel like it's true. And even if it is true, even if United have reached out through intermediaries and made some kind of hint that they want Enrique to be considered for the Man United job, I feel like Enrique would say, well, no, I'm not going to do that. Unless you come to me right now and put something to me in terms of the project offer and whatever not. Why would I reject something that I've got on the table? That's just silly. It's just you're cutting off the hand that feeds you. He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. So that is the story on Enrique. I don't feel like it's going to happen. Again, you guys tell me different. Tell me, I mean, you guys might... you might feel like it is happening. You might manifest it and it might happen. And I hope it does. I really do want someone like Enrique to come to United because I think he would attract big players, like I said. Although Carrick is doing a good job, and let's be honest, if he keeps on winning, he's not going to do any harm in getting the job, is he? Anyway, other news broke today as well. Again, I don't know whether this is accurate, but it must be because it was Ben Jacobs who was reporting this, and he reported that the secret midfielder that everybody was talking about in the January transfer window was Wilfred Ndidi. Yes. The guy that we were all talking about, oh, there's a secret midfielder. We were talking about it was being Ruben Neves, then it was like Gomez, but it was apparently Wilfred Ndidi on a loan with an option to buy for 12 million euros was being considered by United, but United decided against it at the last minute. And when I mean last minute, I mean the last hour or two of the transfer window. They decided not to bring in Ndidi. Ndidi wanted to come back to the Premier League. He wanted to play for Man United. He was keen on the move. His representatives were keen. They were ready to sign on the dotted line. But United said, nah, leave it out. We will risk going to the end of the season with the squad that we've got, and if we don't get Champions League football, who gives a shit, right? That's their approach. I mean, I don't get why they did that, but this is the problem. This is the way Ineos operate. They look at the small savings that they can make, and yeah, that's wins for them, isn't it? That's wins for them. I don't know whether we should be looking at it that way. I think we should be looking at it as like, right, okay, do you know what's going to help this team succeed? Forget about the money. Forget about the money, because you'll make that money back. If you succeed, you make that money back. It's logical. You qualify for Champions League, you get a lot more money back than the 15 million that you might have spent on buying Ndidi. I don't know how you pronounce it, but Ndidi. For me, that's ridiculous, isn't it? So to save 15 million, they're like, okay, yeah, we'll save 15 million. They might forego 100 plus million for qualifying for Champions League and, all the commercial revenue that comes through from that. Now, talking about commercial revenue, let's move on to the next part of the show, which is we've heard news, apparently, that the Glazers are unhappy with the club's commercial revenues and success in the year gone. That is so funny. I actually started laughing out loud when I read that. Apparently, the Glazers have made a point of the not so good commercial success of Man United over the last year or so. So funny, isn't it? These guys, how do they have the audacity to turn around and say that United have been unsuccessful commercially and they're not happy with the money generated over the last year or so? Are you on the right bloody planet? You bloody Glazers, right? You've got a fucking cheek, haven't you? Coming to United saying that we haven't made enough commercial success or money or whatever it is, revenue over the last year because they're not, because we're not playing good football. We had Ruben Amorim who took us into a bloody season that was a dead end season. The moment he arrived, we lost, and then any chance of getting into the Champions League was thrown out the window with turning up and playing probably arguably the worst Spurs team possible, and we lost. It was a shit final. It was disgusting football. It was awful to watch, and I was embarrassed to be part of that flipping final, watching that final. And yeah, Ruben Amorim didn't succeed, and then boom, off we go. And of course, we were not going to get any money. Of course, we were going to struggle after that. But anyway, talking about managers and everything, coming back to another news story, allow Glazers. I've got no time for their whining, right? I've got no time for their whining. They've got no right to be whining and crying about not making enough money. You should have put some money into the club and you might expect something back. Anyway, moving on, manager of the month. So much news to cover today because I felt like, because I didn't do a morning show, Friday night there's so much to pack in, but I enjoy it as well because we've left a larger gap between the yesterday's morning show and tonight's show, and you get lots more news to cram in, and we've got other news coming, which is manager of the month, and I think he's going to get it, isn't he? I think he's going to get it. I think it's Carrick, Deitch, Areola and the Chelsea manager. We've got Rosner. I think Carrick's going to get it, hands down. I mean, clearly, I can't think of what the other three have done. What's Deitch done, man? I swear Nottingham haven't performed well. And Areola, again, like, what's he done? Look, it's Carrick who's clear. Carrick is clear is going to get it. I can't think of anybody else who deserves it more. Come in, played City and Arsenal, beat the shit out of them, really. I mean, we absolutely destroyed them. Now, in other news, there's so much to cover. But anyway, in other news, we've got JJ Gabriel with news that he's actually been training with the first team. JJ Gabriel, so another young player that's now stepping up. I did say a couple of days ago that the plan Ineos had brought forward once the David Ornstein news broke that they're not going to spend big in the summer transfer window. And Ineos, I said to you, Ineos' plan is that they're going to promote lots of trainee academy players into the first team, and that's how they're going to plug in the gaps for any players that leave. So Sekou Kone will be a direct replacement for Casemiro. That's what they're hoping is going to happen. I really find that difficult, but look, this is it. This is what we're being told. And this news story about JJ Gabriel actually breaking into the first team, again, this is possible. He was apparently going to leave in the summer, and then he was convinced by Jason Wilcox not to leave, and that his opportunity will arise with Man United, and he wants to be featuring in the first team. I think he's down that pecking order. I think Lacey and others are above him, but I'm sure they're going to slowly start integrating him into the first team, maybe give him a few chances here and there. But because we've got only Premier League games, and every game is like a cup final for us, we must win. I don't feel like the youngsters are going to get as much chances as they would have done if we were playing maybe in a few of the competitions like the Carabao Cup and so forth, and FA Cup. I think the youngsters might have got a run out then. I think now chances are limited. You're not going to take off your first team players and bring on youngsters unless something drastically happens, like just something like injury. We get injury ridden by loads of players. I don't think we're gonna be giving these youngsters a chance like that. So anyway, so that is the news. Catching up of the news, of course. Today was also the anniversary of the Munich disaster, and hope. Look, this is always a sad time, always remembering the disaster, and it's an important day for us in the calendar. And I saw some clips about the wreaths being laid by the players, Bruno Fernandes and likes, and obviously we've got Carrick there as well. Look, it's every time you hear the story, it just tells you where United have come from, it's like the phoenix that's risen up from the ashes. And look, guys, this is it. And that's why whenever I think about the Glazers, and trust me, I think about the Glazers a bloody lot, right? I think about them all the time, thinking, fucking hell, man, they've screwed us over. And how are we going to get out of this? But at the same time, I know I've got faith in this club, not in the owners, but in the fan base and in the club itself. And I feel like, no, we will be released of our shackles. We will be free. We'll be free one day from these bloody owners, and we can really start flying. But until that day doesn't come, I mean, yeah, we've just got to live in hope, and we've got to hope that the day does come where we flip in, get away from them, because this club doesn't deserve that, man. This club, from its heritage, when you look at that today, when I was watching footage of the memorial and stuff, and I was like, do you know what? This is it. This club, it doesn't match with the Glazers. The Glazers are just scum, man. They're scum, and them being part of United is just wrong. It's just wrong on so many bloody levels. But anyway, let's look forward to something positive now. Okay, tomorrow we've got the big game against Spurs. Massive game, guys. I'm going to come to the chat as well, because I want you guys to tell me what you think about the game and who you think will be featuring in the team. Do you anticipate any changes that Carrick might make, or do you feel like he's going to put out the same winning team and then take things from there? If they don't perform, at least then he can go to his bench. But I think he's going to stick to the team that he's played last weekend. I can't see him changing. I really can't. But let me know if you think, or you've heard of something that I've not heard of, but let me know if you think that there are some changes that are due to take place. What I've heard is that he's going to stick to a winning side, and he's not going to make much changes. That's the way Carrick rolls. He might, however, change something up on the formation side and tactic side. So that's what we're hearing. We're hearing that although he might not change the squad and the first team, he might change up the tactics against Spurs, because he feels like Spurs are a different team to contend with. Now, we've heard from the Spurs manager, Thomas Frank, and he's come out and he's kind of, he sounds a bit nervous. He would be, wouldn't he? He would be nervous. Carrick is on a flipping roll right now, and we could be looking at 4 wins in a row. But look, first of all, let's quickly go and check out the lineup. So this is my lineup. I'll come to the chat as soon as I've done my lineup, okay? So let me know, you guys out there, what lineup you think is we're going to have, if it's going to be unchanged. If you think if there's a player that's going to be changing, let me know which player you think is going to come in and who's going to go out. And of course, then let me know what formation we might play, because again, it might change. There's lots of noises coming out that the formation might change. I hope it doesn't, because I feel like the 4-4-2 formation, the way we're playing, I think is really, really good and it's solid. But Spurs are a different challenge, and I like the fact that Carrick is flexible. He's not doing a Ruben Amorim on us, right? Or a Ten Hag, where he's saying, I'm not changing. I'm not changing. My way is the best way. And if you don't like it, piss off. I don't like that. Anyway, my lineup is this, right? And then I'll come to the chat, which is, for me, it's Senny Lemons in gold. Of course it is. I mean, who else have we got? I mean, do we even have a reserve goalkeeper? We're all shit. They're all shit. They shouldn't even be there. We're paying them for nothing. I mean, absolutely, Senny Lemons all the way, every day of the week. Dalot, right back. Again, Mazraoui is fit. Mazraoui is available. But again, I think Dalot's just not put a foot wrong since Carrick started. Since Carrick's come in, I can't think of a game where I've looked at Dalot and thought, right, he's been shit, take him off. Why did we even play him? I think he's been solid. He's not made many mistakes, maybe one mistake, but that's forgivable in a game. Harry Maguire, I think, will be next to him in the centre-back position. Again, Harry Maguire has come in under Carrick and he's been solid. Absolutely solid. Being, the experienced head in that team. I just feel like, I don't think he's going to drop him. Martinez, again, of course, that's our best 2 centre-backs right now in terms of experience, in terms of what they're doing right now for United. They've had, and I think that's what Carrick's doing. I think these 2, he's going to play as the 2 centre-backs that he's going to use, and that's the partnership. Then the other 2 partnerships that he's going to hopefully try and nurture in the long term, if he becomes manager, by the way, is going to be Euro and Haven. And them 2 will be the future of United. So hopefully, and obviously De Ligt is there as well. But De Ligt, I think, is kind of in both camps, isn't he? He's mature. He's got more experience than Euro and Haven, but he's not as old as, of course, Harry Maguire and Leacher. But I think if anything happened to them 2, I think that's where De Ligt comes into it. And if Harry Maguire doesn't renew his contract, then De Ligt comes into it. Martinez, of course, like I said, he's in there. Luke Shaw in left back. I can't see that changing. I think he's played every single game this season. Touch wood, he's not got injured, so that's really good news. Anyway, the midfield, Casemiro, Menu. Again, we haven't got any options there. We can't really kind of look to the bench and say, right, let's bring on Ugarte. I don't think that's happening either. So, Kobe Menu and Casemiro in the midfield. Diallo, Fernandez and Kuna. You could obviously I'm going as how it's 4-2-3-1 formation, but of course it's a 4-4-2 formation. But anyway, let's just go with the way we're setting up right now. Okay, so Diallo, Bruno Fernandes, and Kuna. Again, I mean, we haven't got any other options in them positions, right? These are our very best players. Bruno Fernandes, sensational so far. Ahmad, of course, Ahmad is Ahmad. And Kuna, he's been flying so far. And then, of course, up front in that strike position is our main man, Mbeumo, and he's had a few quiet games, but I'm not lying to you. This guy has been my favourite signing of the season. Seriously, seriously good. One hell of a player. I think he offers us so much options, and not only is he good with the ball, but even off the ball, he creates space for the other players to come into and actually do damage. Now, Spurs, who do you think will be in theirs? Well, I've got this team sheet. I think it'll be very close to this. It'll be Vicario in goals, Spence, Romero, Van de Ven, Udogie in their defence, Bissomo, Gallagher, guys, the guy that we were meant to be signing, Odobert, Simmons, who had a decent game actually against City in the second half, Kolomwani and Solanke. Both of their strikers could cause us issues. So that's the team. Let me go to the chat. Let me see. You guys have been waiting patiently, so let me see what you guys have in terms of your team news. Let's see. So we've got Niche in the house, man. Hope you're doing well, Niche. Hope you're looking forward to the game tomorrow morning. Remember, it's an early morning kickoff. I'm not a big fan of them, but 12:30. It's not an early morning kickoff, but by the time you get up on a weekend and get things sorted, it is essentially morning for me anyway. Anyway, Niche says, we win 3-0 against Spurs. I hear Yoro, Haven and Mazraoui will start. He wants ultimate pace at the back. Shaw won't play. Dallo at the left. Maz on the right. Wow, so that's a lot of changes there, Niche. Wow. So Niche is predicting wholesale changes to this team. Completely opposite to what I've been saying, but do you know what? If it works and it gives us the 3-0 win, I'll be happy with that. I mean, whatever gets us the win, that's what my motto is. I don't care who's playing as long as we get the win. We have to get a clean sheet. Let's be honest, Bruno and Sesko rescued the 2 points last game. Yeah, we did, man. We got lucky last game because for a moment I was sat there thinking, shit, we've dropped 2 points here and we're going to drop out of the top 4. We concede too much when we're playing these lesser teams. Yes, we do. We still have got a problem. I still feel like we've got issues with this United team playing against a low block team. That's where I feel like, do you know what? Against Fulham, we were lucky. We were lucky. We let slip. And it was almost a feeling like, oh my God, this is it. This is what we're used to. But suddenly, Sesko came good and scored. So rescued Carrick's unblemished record, and I think Carrick is now is careful. Is being careful. I'm hearing Dogu is out for 4 months minimum. Yeah, I did say that, didn't I? I said to you guys, watch this space. When Dogu news broke and they were saying 10 weeks, I was saying bullshit. That is bullshit. He's out for longer. I kept saying it to everybody. He's out for longer because the hamstring injury, if it's a full-blown hamstring injury, it's not going to be as easy as getting back to fitness in 10 weeks. That's very difficult to do. I don't think it'll be a lot. What did he say? 4 months? I don't think it'll be 4 months, but I think it'll be near enough 3 months. I think around 3 months, and by the time he's rehabilitated and stuff, yeah, it'll be quite some time. The Enrique news is complete BS, in my opinion. He's going to want gazillions. City will take him for sure. If Pep goes, Enrique is going to Man City, unless Enrique doesn't want to follow in the footsteps of Pep and doesn't want to be seen as, the rebound choice or something. I think it's definitely going to be City. Well, it's definitely not going to be United. I'd live for Ndidi for that money. You'd pay. Yeah, I would too as well. Yeah, Luman, well up, big up, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're looking forward to tomorrow's game, man. It's going to be a big one. Let me know your predictions as well. Joshua says the Glazers are a shame to Manchester United. Absolutely, man. You know what? Another thing. Why weren't they here today? Why weren't they here, man? Why didn't they come down and actually pay a visit? This is why the Glazers are an absolute joke, and they are, as Nice puts it, parasites, man. I can't think of a time when they've actually come and taken part in anything decent when it comes to United. If they're not getting paid, if they're not making any money, they're not turning up. Bloody arseholes, that's what they are. Kai Rooney will be the first team within 3 years. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about him. There's a few, you know what? There's a few good youngsters that are in the academy right now. There's a couple of names. I'll do a whole show on it, on the academy players that are going to break through, because I was talking to someone who works closely with the academy team, and he was telling me, like, look, do you know what? There's some seriously talented players in the academy right now, and what they were shocked about was Jim Ratcliffe's comment that the academy is not doing well, because they were like, our academy's sick. It's absolutely cooking right now. They've got some seriously good players, and yeah, they can see most of them going in into the first team. The team will be Lemons, Dallo, Haven, Yoro, Mazraoui, Casemiro, Menu, Bruno, Ahmad. So basically what you're saying is that there'll be quite a lot of change in the midfield, in the defence. So you're saying Mazraoui will come in and Yoro will come in. And you're saying so Leacher and Harry Maguire are going to go out. I find that hard to believe, man. I can't see that happening. I really can't. This is the perfect game for Yoro and Haven. I think we do need pace. I think the likes of Kolomwani is nippy. He could cause problems for Harry Maguire, but I still feel like he's not going to change the defence. I really do. We have to keep a clean sheet. Yeah, do you know what the problem with us is? The clean sheet, man. I think, look, going forward, we're really good this season, scoring goals for fun, but defensively, we're shit, man. We're still shit defensively. But is it me, or is every team scoring crazy world-class goals against us, right? That once-in-a-lifetime type of goals, right? Even the Fulham goal, was it Kevin who scored? A flipping joke, man. I mean, where did that come from? United is going to win 2-1 or 3-1. I like that confidence, Joshua. I like that, man. I like that. Yeah, I'm saying wholesale changes at the back. 2 conceded against Fulham was unacceptable. Actually, that's a good point. Actually, he could be taken. Yeah, he could get pissed off with him and say, look, you're not playing well enough. You've conceded too many goals there. My team will be Lemons, Dallo, Leacher, Maguire, Shaw, Maguire, Casemiro, Bruno, Menu, Bruno, Ahmad, Brian. Yeah, that's exactly the same as. Yeah, that's. I think. Joshua, I think that's going to be the team. I think if I was to hedge my bets, I would say that's the team that he's going to put out there. I think he might change up the lineup if things are not going to plan, but I think that's going to be his lineup. Personally, do I think that's the right lineup? I think I think we could benefit from a pace at the back. I think there's a danger with Solanke being on form as well. Can Leacher and Maguire keep them out? I think they can. I think they can. I think if there's early signs of them getting run ragged by the attack, I think he'll change. But I don't think he's going to, because I think, number one, Maguire gives us that presence, that height, the experience, and that gets us through on some games. And Leacher as well gives us that tenacity and just that know-how, right? The problem with Haven and Yoro we've got is that they're still fairly unexperienced. They've still got a lot of football to play, and yes, they give us that pace, but their positioning, they know how to play a certain way. I mean, sometimes you don't need to make that tackle, but you just kind of body the players. That's where Maguire and Leacher excel. They know how to position themselves between the player and the ball, and that's what really they need to learn. I think Yoro and Haven, brilliant. I mean, Haven was looking sensational a couple of games ago, but I feel like we've got to slowly bring him in. I would be happy if we start the game unchanged and then we bring him on. But again, I can't see that happening either. So you might be right, Nish. You might be right. There might be some changes, but I really can't see him changing the the 2 centre-backs. I think if you go back all the way to the way Fergie would play and everything, he would like his 2 centre-back pairing to stick together. And Leacher and Maguire will have to play together now consistently. And if they've not, yes, the 2 goals conceded was a big issue. And I'm just thinking, who's he going to blame? Is he blaming the centre-backs, or will he blame the midfield in Ugarte coming on and not being able to close up shop? I don't know. That's what he could go back to Casemiro and say, well, look, this is why Casemiro is so important. This is why the whole bringing in another midfielder never made any sense to me. I thought, why haven't you not gone out there and got another midfielder if Casemiro is that important to us? If when he goes off, the team performance drops to such a bad level. And this is, if you look back, forget the Fulham game. If you look back at the Spurs game that we played away from home, that's exactly what happened. We took off Casemiro. We looked comfortable. We were 1-0 ahead. And then suddenly Spurs got a grip in that midfield and they ran us ragged, got the 2 goals. And then it was lucky for us that De Ligt went up in the last minute and got that goal. They're already getting things done perfectly. So changing or rotating will cause a little setback for the match tomorrow. Yeah, I think so too, man. If I'm like I said, if I'm guessing, I'm saying that he's not changing. Yeah, but Yoro and Haven haven't had a fair chance in that 4 at the back. I know they haven't had a fair chance, but I just feel like Carrick wants experience in this team. I think he knows the weaknesses of Maguire and Leacher, but I also feel like he knows that they can offer something a lot more experience than the other two youngsters. We're conceding due to Maguire. He doesn't close down quickly enough. Shaw is also a liability when he gets tired. Yeah, when Shaw gets tired, he's a liability. It's going to be interesting. All I can say is this is one game where I've been hearing lots of rumours about changes coming. So I don't know what that could relate to. I've put it down to that he's going to change the formation and change the way he's playing against Spurs. But this week, the last couple of days, I've got more and more information coming out that Man United are working on something different. Carrick has been working on something different. I think some people might have taken that as, oh, he's going to make wholesale changes at the back, or he's going to change the team around. I've taken that as he's going to change the system around. We can only wait and see what happens, but it's going to be an interesting game. Of course, we're going to be cheering on United to go and get that fourth win. And this is a must-win game. Every single game we play is a must-win game. Do I think it's going to be an easy game? Absolutely not. Spurs looked really good in the second half against City, and I think Thomas Frank is going to tell the team exactly that. He's going to go and tell them tomorrow, look, guys, play like you did against City in the second half. Just go and do that. Repeat and just go and do what you did there. And if you can do that, we're going to go and win against United. That's what I think he's going to be telling. Or at least we're going to have a chance to win against United. But he did look nervous. He did kind of, from what I got from Frank, he was a bit like, he looked like he's almost conceding that Carrick and United are a team that are way better than them right now. And it's going to be very difficult for Spurs to come and beat them. I'll bet you we see the centre-backs being changed. Maguire's on the way out anyway. Wilcox sees Yoro and Haven as the future. We're going to have to see. Nish, this is a great one, because tomorrow morning, I'm going to be doing the watch-along, by the way, guys. So join me for the watch-along. I've decided not to go to the game. I'm going to stay at home. I'm going to do the watch along, and I want to join the chat and just enjoy a chilled out game, because I feel like this game is going to be a tricky game, and we're going to have to be on our very best form to beat this team. Because if you go back to the games that we've been playing against Tottenham in recent times, they've just been a weird team to beat, man. They've not been our best performances. So I'm hoping that we can pull something out of the bag and go again. Because, again, it all depends on these players. Have they got that oomph in them, right? The commitment to go again and try and get another win under Carrick. 4 wins in a row. It's a must. It can be done. It will be done. It's just a matter of how we do it. In what style do we do it? Can we break down this Spurs team? Will they sit back? Will they not attack us? Will they try and do a counter-attack job on us? Because they've probably seen Fulham and they've probably thought, right, okay, do you know what? Fulham have given us a blueprint of just how to maybe cope with this United team and how to cope with the attacks. But then again, Fulham did lose the game. So maybe Spurs are now thinking maybe we can't even do that. So who knows? Who knows, guys? But one thing is for sure, we're in for another cracking game of football. And I've not said that for a long time. Do you know what? Since Carrick's joined, I've just got to say one thing. I have actually been looking forward to the matches every weekend, whereas normally I'm panicking, I'm nervous about what we're going to see, nervous about whether we can even turn up and do a decent job. But I look forward to these games, man, because what I know for sure is, even if it's going to be a difficult game, what I know is that we're going to see drama, we're going to see action, we're going to see 100% passion, and we're going to see decent football, and of course we're going to see goals, and that's what we all turn up for. Anyway, guys, make sure you hit the like before you leave today's show. If you're not already a subscriber to the Man United Stream channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. You should be hitting that subscribe button as immediately if you're a Man United fan, and even if you're not a Man United fan, you should still hit that subscribe button, because, you know, we're a fantastic show. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bang on, to do the watch along, and then hopefully celebrate together. Take care, and thank you for joining me tonight. See